All right, so we got the Chicago Bulls have a new star. Listen, let me get comfortable. This is about Kobe motherfucking White. So we know we had to tap in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. At the time of this recording, we're at 410. Subscribe, my nigga. All this shit, the subscribe, the like, the comment, all that shit really does help on some real ass shit. And it's free. It don't cost nothing to show a nigga some love. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. The Chicago Bulls have a brand new star. Let's see what we're talking about. Let's go.
It's pretty safe to say that Kobe White's first 4 NBA seasons have been pretty up and down. But over the past few weeks, it does seem like White's starting to figure things out on the court.
Facts.
Over Kobe's last 6 games, he's averaging over 26 points per game, which is well
okay,
over
so this is
double
off of
his
last
career
season
average.
then. Okay.
And the foundation for White's recent offensive burst has been his three-point shooting. So far this year, Kobe's shooting a solid 43% from 3.
Damn.
Over his recent 6-game stretch,
that's good as
those
fuck.
3-point percentages have jumped to over 53%. Now, one big factor that separates White from your typical outside shooter is that he has a ton of range.
You know what I'm saying? He shoots that bitch far as fuck. And he creates his own shot.
Kobe has a pretty low release point, bringing the ball just slightly over his shoulders, but he gets perfect timing with his lower body into his release. Notice here how White gets full extension from his knees and hips at the exact time the ball leaves his hands, which allows him to transfer power through his entire body and effortlessly let the ball go from 30. And that form is pretty similar to both Steph Curry and Trae Young, who are two guys that uncoincidentally also have crazy range.
Good company to be in, Code.
Now that range makes White really difficult to guard off the ball, because his man can't really afford to sit heavy in gap, because that will lead to an easy kick out in 3.
Facts.
Right here, you'll see the 6'8" Aaron Gordon just take one step down in gap. But with White spotting up 8 feet behind the 3, he has no chance of recovering back gap.
Look at how far, bro.
Now on this play, you'll see DeMar DeRozan working the clock down. And notice how Damian Lillard is going to come double the ball, which now forces...
And I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, you're talking about this like Curry hasn't been doing this shit for years. Here's the thing. First of all, I'm a Bulls fan. We haven't had anything... What the fuck? We haven't had anything exciting since Derrick Rose. Let me have this. And number 2, if you are a Bulls fan, you know the struggles we went through. To see somebody, anybody, blossom into a fucking borderline all-star is very exciting. Especially for Kobe White, who we spent the number 7th pick on. His first 2 years in the league, I don't know what year he's on right now. They weren't that great. There were flashes, but they weren't that great. And to see him take this fucking step, my nigga, this shit's beautiful. Makes me want to fucking cry.
White. But again, look how spaced out Kobe is here. And even with the 6'11" Giannis,
he could have swung that corner
outside of the 3. He still can't effectively cover all this ground. Now, White is much more than just your typical spot-up shooter, having the ability to work off screens and find his shooting base to then elevate up for balanced jumpers. You'll see him here working off his flare screen. And notice how this pass is pretty off the mark, forcing White to extend all the way up to grab the ball. But from here, watch how smoothly Kobe finds his shooting base, to then rise up for a stable in-rhythm jumper.
That's a good ass shot.
Now, Kobe also generates a good amount of 3s off the dribble. And for this year, he's shooting an impressive 43% on all his pull-up 3s.
That's
what
good.
I think really makes those percentages so high is Kobe's shot selection. Most of White's pull-up 3s come in the flow of the game, either getting these fly-by one-dribble pull-ups,
God. That
or
shit's so
elevating
sexy.
up and pick and roll if the big is sagged too far back.
MIP.
White also has all those steps.
Y'all know how I feel about this, but Kobe White should have won MIP last year over Tyrese Maxey, bro. Tyrese Maxey was already like a borderline all-star, and he just stepped into stardom. He's been like that. Kobe White was damn near a fucking role player. Now he's borderline. Like, I feel like the transition is way different, bro. Kobe White should have won that shit last year. Now, if that's what we going off, borderline all-star to all-star, then Kobe White has this MIP award in the fucking bag. As long as he plays the way he played last year, better efficiency. And if he scores like maybe 2 to 3 more points, oh my God. That shit's easy for him.
And separation moves in his bag. One of his go-to moves is his left to right between step back.
That shit's so
where he
nice.
pushes the defense back by planting off that right foot, Then he's going to push off that foot to separate. This move here is tough, where Kobe's going to refuse to screen by getting to a right-to-left crossover.
Right.
Watch how he slams the brakes by bringing that right foot across and planting off it. Then from here, he's going to get back to that right-to-left between and separate for this 3. So overall, White is a real outside scoring threat, being able to generate points both off the dribble and catch, while being able to do all that in scary range. And that outside scoring threat, in return, opens up Kobe's downhill attacking, and we can really see that in White's pick and roll game, where Kobe's range forces teams to pick him up 30 feet from the basket, which gives him the automatic advantage to explode into driving angles. On this play, you'll see Kobe working off the screen in semi-transition, and notice how his shooting threat pulls DeAndre Jordan outside of the 3, and from here, he has no chance of containing White off the bounce. Look at this play. You'll now see Kobe working off these staggered screens, and as he comes off, notice how he lifts both his eyes and his shoulders up, which pulls Brook Lopez out towards the 3, and gives Kobe another blow-by. Now with the ball, I ain't
gonna lie, I need this guy right here to break down my film. I got a couple 1v1 videos up. I got more coming in the future for sure, but I need him to break down my film. But I could really show you some shit.
It's massively improved his pace, playing at different speeds to throw off the defense.
God.
Right here, you'll see Bobby Portis slide up to meet Kobe at the level of the screen. But watch how White is going to bounce up and float to his left, then be attacked through this gap. This is also a nice move here, where Kobe's now going up against the alien Victor Wembanyama. And watch how Kobe is going to pound the ball with his right and transfer his weight from his right to left foot, selling as if he's about to pull out and reset the offense. But notice how this just slightly lifts Victor out of his stance, which now allows Kobe to push off his left foot and blow past him into this layup.
Some of y'all take notes, bro. He really giving y'all free game.
Change of pace moves are pretty simple. Like on this play, we have White playing against Giannis one-on-one. And notice how upright and casual White is with the ball. And all he's going to do from here is drop his level and dust Giannis on the perimeter. Then watch how Kobe is going to jump early off his ball side foot to get this layup off before Brook Lopez can slide over. So another huge part in White's pick and roll game is going to be his passing. But if you want to see my breakdown of White's playmaking, that video is going to be exclusively on my Patreon, where you can get access to all my exclusive videos.
Is this guy a Bulls fan? I'm going to check out his channel after this, for real.
Passing.
He might be a Bulls fan.
Moving on, the next thing we have to go over is White's improved strength. White this year has been much more stable.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've seen some pictures of Kobe White. Pause, no Diddy. But the nigga looks like he's been on roids, my nigga. They gonna drug test him real soon.
Being able to handle physical defense and maintain control of the ball to carve out driving angles. You'll see White here going against the bigger and more physical Christian Brown. And watch how Kobe pushes the ball to his left hand. Then he's going to skip his feet up to build momentum and push himself into the stride.
Skip dribbles are so underrated.
And
Very underrated
how White
fucking
puts
move.
His forearm into Christian's body to then veer into him with these long strides and get this finish at the rim.
It takes dedication and focus.
1,000 subs, bud. We'll get YouTube Premium, bro. We won't have to deal with no more ads.
Now he's matched up against
Get me there, y'all. 1,000.
Watch how White is going to pivot his right foot across his frame to then drive his shoulder right through Cameron Payne's body and draw this foul at the rim. Now when getting into these drives, Kobe's also been very quick and decisive with his reads. Just simply reading angles, then making quick and decisive moves. Right here, you'll again see Kobe going at Victor Wembanyama. And watch how he just simply attacks
Victor
his
for
top
real
front and blows right past him into this drive. This is another simple and effective move, where White turns the corner off the screen, then drops down into an in and out. And from here, notice how all his weight is loaded on his outside foot, which allows White to explode into this crossover. Now, Kobe's improved strength also upgrades his finishing around the basket, being able to absorb contact in the deep paint and keep his driving line to muscle his way into finishes. You'll see him on this play easily rip past Dame on the perimeter, and as he picks up into this finish, notice how White veers into the shot blocker to create this finishing angle back towards his left. Look at this play. You'll see Kobe turn the corner off the screen, and instead of settling for a more difficult floater or push shot, watch how he euros into traffic and draws a foul.
And one.
So White's combination of having both pace and stability with the ball opens up windows for him to create in the mid-range. And again, everything comes back to White's outside shooting threat, which forces defenders to primarily fight over his screens, which then gives White all this in-between space to create pull-ups.
Facts.
That they should win a championship this year.
Right here, notice how this defender...
One thing all my hoopers know is if you're able to extend your range and able to shoot, basically what he just said, if you're able to shoot from far as fuck, bro, it makes the game so much easier. Because they have to play up on you, then you can do whatever you want to them, bro. Like a Diddy party. Whatever you could think of.
Chasing White over the screen, while Lopez is waiting for him to drop.
I've done that a
White's
couple
gonna use
times.
his eyes to sell this pocket pass, which briefly freezes these two defenders and allows him to step into an in-rhythm 8-foot jumper. And that strength also allows White to stay on balance while working his way to spots. Watch him here get to this right to left crossover, then put his body weight into the defense, to then work his way to the elbow and rise up for another jumper. Now, another big factor that makes White extremely valuable to Chicago's offense is that he can be just as effective playing off the ball. We've already gone over how
that's a
effective
beautiful
Kobe is
pass.
at spreading the floor with his outside shooting. But when spotting up, White can also leverage that outside scoring threat to initiate drives off the catch. When attacking closeouts, White is elite at feeling the defense's momentum and attacking into their gravity to get downhill. Right here, notice how Aaron Gordon is heavily closing out towards Kobe's left side. So in response, watch how he's going to rip back towards his right and immediately get past him with his dribble. Then White's going to pound the ball and explode right through the gap into a finish.
Somehow I'm not paying attention,
You'll see
boy.
him use that same pound dribble here, where White again lets the closeout fly by. Then he's going to pick up the ball right past the help. To then
I'm gonna be
stride
doing this
to
in
the
fucking
paint.
February, bro.
White's also very good at building momentum off the
I'm
catch.
doing all this shit.
On this play, notice when he catches this swing pass, how he skips his feet up, which allows White to pick up a head of steam and push himself into this open space.
Good ass drop off.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, please feel free to
We
subscribe.
fucked with it.
The kids here.
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We are at... Shit. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We are at 410 at the time of this recording. We're out of here. Kobe White is going to be a beast. Simple. We're out.